Happy Friday morning, and thanks for joining us on Sunrise. I'm Emily Scarlett in for Cammie Raisler.
And I'm Leland Pender. Your forecast is first on this Friday. Let's head over to Tim Miller in the First Alert Weather Center. Tim, it's looking pretty good right now, but some rain showers are on the way.
Yeah, Leland, Emily, that's the case for sure.
Well, 40 years and more than 600 miles. That's how far and how long a South Carolina inmate has been on the run after escaping from a work site in the upstate.
Jose Chico Romero, now 64 years old, escaped in 1979 from a work assignment in Anderson County. Romero was serving an 18-year sentence for armed robbery in Aiken County when he escaped all those years ago. The State Department of Corrections says he was arrested on New Year's Day in Dover, Delaware. SEDC says he gave a fake ID card and was booked under the name Arnaldo Figueroa, but his fingerprints later came back with a match for Romero.
We do have nationwide organizations that are going to try to find you, U.S. Marshal's Office, international organizations that will try to find you. We will not stop. What you're going to have to do for the rest of your life is look over your shoulder and worry, is that next knock on the door the police coming to bring me back to finish my charges and add additional charges to it.
Romero is being held in Delaware awaiting extradition. Once back in South Carolina, he'll have to serve the rest of his sentence, which is about 7 years, plus possibly more prison time if convicted on escape charges. Today marks 2 weeks since 26-year-old Wesley Camp was shot and killed outside a holiday party in Lexington. But as of this morning, no charges or arrests have been made in his death. Police say Camp and another man got into a fight during that party at Southern Dreams Realty just 5 days before Christmas. They say it spilled out into the parking lot, and that's where Camp was shot. We've reached out to police several times since then, but police have not released the name of the suspected shooter nor any additional details. As family and friends continue to mourn, they say their fight for justice continues.
Hard enough to have to bury your child, but have to know that the person who done it is still walking around free is just unimaginable.
Police say their case remains under investigation and they're being assisted by the state law enforcement's office. Anyone with information on this shooting should call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC.
Continuing coverage this morning, state health officials are reporting the first flu-related death in the Midlands. The Department of Health and Environmental Control says there were 4 flu-related deaths last week, making the total number of deaths this season 15. DHEC says our state has seen its 7th week in a row of widespread flu activity. More than 1,000 people have tested positive for the flu this season, and more than 600 have ended up in the hospital. State health officials are encouraging everyone to get a flu shot, saying it is not too late to do so. And starting next month, companies will no longer be allowed to make, distribute, or sell most flavored e-cigarette products. The Food and Drug Administration banned nearly all flavored e-cigarette products yesterday, with the exception of menthol and tobacco-flavored pods. The FDA says the ban is meant to keep kids and teens from vaping. NBC News reports that across the country, 5 million middle and high school students admit to vaping. But critics say the new ban doesn't go far enough.
The data makes clear that kids use tobacco flavor and menthol flavored cartridge e-cigarettes much less frequently than those other products.
I would have preferred to have seen all flavors banned. I don't like to leave any gateways open for kids to become addicted to nicotine.
Flavored e-liquids for open tank vaping systems that are mixed and sold by vape shops will still be legal. That's because the FDA says those are used mostly by adults. Well, a vape shop in the Midlands has been ordered to pay tens of thousands of dollars in back wages after an investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division. That investigation orders Planet Vapor to pay more than $60,000 in back wages and liquidated damages to 20 employees. It's for violating the minimum wage, overtime, and record-keeping requirements of the Fair Labor Standards Act. That company has 5 retail stores and a laboratory warehouse operating in Columbia, Lexington, West Columbia, and Irmo.
Happening today, you have the chance to give the gift of life. The Sumter Fire Department will be hosting a blood drive with the American Red Cross. That'll be held in the training room of the fire department and runs from 10 this morning until 4 this afternoon. Donors will receive a free t-shirt. And if you're looking for some exciting action for the whole family, the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters will be in the capital city. They'll be bringing their all-new show, Pushing the Limits, to Colonial Life Arena tonight at 7. Now, we got a preview of the show last month here on Sunrise with number 19 on the team, Flip White, joined us in studio, and here's some video of that. Tickets are still available starting at $20. Leland, we had fun that day.
We did. I think you should probably apply to be on the team.
I agree. I should be out there tonight. I mean, clearly my skills are there.
I want to see you out there. That's a show I would pay money to see for sure. All right, we'll see Emily on the court, but in the meantime, some more to come this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Ahead on Sunrise, a U.S. drone strike kills Iran's most revered military leader. How it's expected to impact already heightened tensions between the two countries coming up. Developing overnight, the former head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has vowed, quote, strong revenge against the U.S. As NBC's Tracy Potts reports, it comes after a U.S. drone strike killed a top Iran military official.
New video this morning.
Early this morning, the U.S. State Department urged all Americans to leave Iraq immediately. It also suspended all consular operations at the U.S. Embassy compound and said U.S. citizens should not approach the embassy. In our Decision 2020 coverage right now, the Democratic presidential field has gotten a little bit smaller. Julian Castro has announced he is dropping out of the race. The former Housing and Urban Development Secretary announced the end of his campaign yesterday on Twitter. Castro struggled at the polls, rarely exceeding 2% in national surveys, and he also struggled to raise enough money to keep up with his Democratic opponents. Castro was the only Latino American candidate running for president. He served as the mayor of San Antonio, Texas for 5 years before joining the Obama administration. Hollywood's best will be celebrated this weekend at the 77th Golden Globe Awards. We will take a look at some of the nominees and what to expect from the host of this year's show ahead. Trending this morning, the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards are coming up this weekend, and Ricky Gervais will join the Five Timers Club. That's right. The comedian first hosted that show in 2010, turning a night normally reserved for glamour into a flame-throwing roast. But as NBC's Raphael Seth reports, this time will be Gervais' last time hosting, which means he's sure to be even more unpredictable.
But this is the last time. There's a limit.
Viewers likely thought Ricky Gervais had reached that limit years ago.
The Golden Globes are just like the Oscars, but without all that esteem.
His on-air jabs at celebrities shook up Hollywood's favorite champagne party, ruffling feathers, offending nominees, and making for some cringeworthy moments.
It must be good because it's nominated, so shut up, okay?
It's not that Gervais doesn't enjoy rubbing elbows with the glitterati.
This isn't about you.
But he prefers not to gear the show toward them for the sake of those outside the auditorium and watching at home.
They're not winning awards. They're not millionaires, you know? So I tried to make it a spectator sport.
Spectators will have plenty to look for on this normally freewheeling telecast, including a Lifetime Achievement Award for Tom Hanks.
For outstanding contribution to being the nicest man in America.
But even top shelf icons have not been safe from the wrath of Ricky.
If you do win tonight, remember that no one cares about that award as much as you do, okay? I'm in this for my amusement. And if you don't care about the backlash, it's great.
A-listers may want to brace for the final curtain of a man going out on his own terms who isn't afraid to pull the rug out from anybody else. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
As for the nominees, Netflix dominates with 34 nominations, including 4 films up for Best Picture awards, like The Irishman and Marriage Story. This is the first time the streaming service has earned a Golden Globes Best Picture nomination. Other big films looking to grab the Best Picture award include Joker and Rocketman. Many of the actors in those films are also up for a Best Picture award, including Adam Driver, Eddie Murphy, and Scarlett Johansson. All right, you can watch the Golden Globes right here on WIS this Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
Y'all seen those movies?
Couple
Joker.
of them.
Saw Joker.
I saw some of Dolomite Is My Name, but I
Okay.
was eating food and more focused on that at the time. So I got to go back and rewatch it.
Too late for me, but I will like to go back and see the results. I won't be staying up late on
Yeah.
Sunday, but I do like to see the winners.
I'm sure we'll have the story Monday morning.
Right.
True, yeah, absolutely.
All right, another story we'll have is the weather, as always.
As always, the story this morning is it is
A little warm out there, right?
It is warm in certain areas. Other places, it's cold. It's just crazy. All these numbers, we're like the weather's like the Powerball numbers. Look at all these crazy numbers. We got 63, 48.